Hi everyone, how are you doing? So I want to talk about what to do when you want to get unstuck, and I want to talk about manifesting and the law of attraction as well today. So today's live is in response to I've just been doing a quantum alchemy session with a client, and these were some questions that she had. So I'm being a good MG and I'm responding and doing a video on these topics today. So I just want to check that I am live and I can see myself, and then we will get started. So, okay. So what I hear a lot is I'm stuck and I don't know where to go next. Okay, so a lot of us have our big dream, our goal, our vision in mind. We know where we want to get to, or we know what that feels like. We know what that end goal and that vision, or like that next step up, looks like for us. But what's really hard is what is in front of us right now, what we're being present with right now, and where we need to go next. So there's a couple of things that I want to share with you that can help you to understand how you get unstuck in the moment. And then I want to talk about manifesting in general and our big dreams and goals around that. Okay, so let me know if this resonates with you. So you've got this big dream, this goal, this mission for the impact that you want to have on the world. You know that you are here to be that leader, to walk the untrodden path for others to follow you. And you have an idea of the impact. Hey Joe, hey Jess. You have an idea of the impact that you want to make on the world, but you're just not sure what that next step takes, and it feels overwhelming. It's like, well, I know I want to have this impact. I know it looks like this, or I might have a vision board or a vision in my mind when I meditate of what that impact is going to be like. What's that going to look like? Okay, so there are two things. The client I was working with earlier in the quantum alchemy session, she was like, just give me like one thing, like what is one tip to getting unstuck? And I thought, I'm actually going to give you two today. Okay, so the first tip is body truth. The first tip to getting unstuck is body truth. And hey Chance, everything. So let me explain how this works, because I think body truth can sound like just a body concept of our bodies feel a certain way. We know what's true for us, we know what isn't. Let me share a little story with you that's going to bring this to life. So it was last summer and we had been invited to go to a festival. Now, before lockdown, I used to go to festivals, I used to do lots of things, and so in my head was saying, we go to festivals. Hey Jill, we go to festivals, it's what we do, that's just normal. But my body was actually saying something different. So when I thought about going to this festival, my body started to close up. It started to constrict, okay? And I thought, this is odd, because normally I go to festivals and that's what I do and everything else. So my mind was telling me one thing. I can't say this without thinking of that R. Kelly song. So inappropriate right now, Gemma. My mind was telling me yes. My body was very clearly telling me no. But how often do we gaslight ourselves out of this? And for a lot of us, these might be the words of our parents. Of like, you'll be all right when you get there. You're just, oh, everyone gets nervous. Oh, you'll be all right. You'll be all right. But this is our body very clearly saying to us, no, 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 okay? because in the quantum field, all possibilities exist at once. And time is not linear. So there is one version of us. So in that moment, in that story that I was telling you, there is one version of me that has already been to that festival. And there is a version of me that hasn't. Okay? It's like a fork in the road. And both of those possibilities, or limitless possibilities, there exist. So when I was thinking and feeling about going to this festival, what was happening, this constriction in my body, was my body saying, this timeline exists already. You've already done this. Time is not linear. And you did not have a good experience. But my head came in, and I had to go through this lesson and journey so that I could share this as well. My head came in and said, and started to gaslight myself like, like a parent. You're just nervous. You'll be all right when you get there. That'll toughen you up. How many of us have heard that, right? So I ignored my body. I listened to my head. I went to the festival, and it was horrendous experience towards the end. I don't want to share the energy of that with you, but basically it was the wrong decision to put myself in that experience. I always get tea for these sessions, and then they get cold. Okay, so number one tip is body truth, and hopefully that story brought that to life for you. Your body already knows, because it's already done it on some level, so it knows whether something is right for you. So this is where we are getting our hell yes. Like when I got asked to speak at TEDx, it was like, hell yeah, am I getting on that stage? It is a tiny mug, isn't it? A little tiny mug. I've got some beautiful mugs. Check out my stories on Instagram. I've got some beautiful mugs today as an early birthday present. I do love a mug. I came home and Coral said, you're going to have to get rid of some old mugs if you've just bought some new mugs. I'm a little bit of a, tea, love mugs, love coffee, love cozy. So this is why body truth works, because you have already done it on some timeline, okay? This is how it works. So you're just simply accessing that future version of you. That's how it's like the basics of how this is working. So how do we get unstuck? Our bodies always know the answer. So all we need to do is to connect to our body truth. So if you don't have a clear connection to your body truth, think about a situation, let me know in comments, a situation that you've had that turned out really well. And just think about that now. Let me know what that is for you. So when I think back to TEDx and the feeling that I got when that email came through that said, congratulations, there was 400 applicants, you've made it through to the final 30, you're going to be on that stage. When that came through, my whole body lifted and it was like, yes. And I think back to that day and it was like, yes, okay? So let me know in comments, where has there been a situation that has turned out really well? And when you feel into that situation, the likelihood is you will get that lifted feeling, you will get that body truth, okay? So if you can't get the body truth in advance, you can sometimes tap into that same feeling by going back. Same with a situation like for me in the festival, that didn't turn out to be, it turned out to be a no, okay? And you can tap into that no. For me, the no is a constricted, closed feeling. The open is a yes, lifted feeling, okay? Let me know if that resonates, let me know if you can connect into that. So the best thing we can do with getting unstuck, firstly, is tuning it into our body truth. And that's probably the number one thing, okay? The number two thing is energy clearing. So, and I was talking to this client about this earlier who asked me to talk about this topic. A lot of the time we don't realise that we're not actually on our soul's path, or we've come off it a little bit, or there's things coming onto the path. So we're trying to get unstuck and we're trying to get back into a space of alignment and flow. But if we're full of energy, and this could be energy that you picked up yesterday at the shop, this could be energy from past lifetimes, from your childhood, energy from your clients. I see this a lot. a lot of, I work with a lot of therapists and healers that work with a lot of clients and need to keep their energy clear because they're picking up a lot of stuff from their clients as well. Energy clearing is the number 2 here, okay? I'm not saying one is more important than the other, both really important. But body truth is obviously very simple because it's like a yes or a no, and energy clearing becomes more complex. So to clear your path, to align you back to your most authentic self and back on your path, back in your truth, back into the work that you're here to do, we need to clear that energy. And this is why I trained to be a quantum healer, and I'm doing quantum alchemy sessions. I've got a birthday sale on for the month of November, which I'm so excited about. I was so excitable in my session with my client this afternoon. I was like, woohoo, your energy's back. And she was loving the excitement, thankfully, but I was just like, oh, this is amazing, look what we're doing. So it just felt a hell yes for me. It was a body truth for me. It was like, what am I going to do? What's going to be my focus for November? And I want to do something for my birthday, like as a birthday offer. It was like, hell yes, are we doing quantum alchemy? Because I love the shifts that happen in my clients. And I was talking to a friend this morning. She's a hypnotherapist, and she said to me, this is just so potent to be able to keep myself clear so that I can be the best version of myself in my life and business. She was like, I just can't explain the impact of these sessions. So yeah, so I love it, and everyone loves it who's had a session. So I have a sale on for the month of November, just 10 sessions at that sale price for my birthday. And energy clearing is so important. So what I saw earlier with this client, and I've seen this for a lot of my clients, we have this golden path. This golden path is in alignment with our soul and what we're here to do. It's in alignment with who we are, our gifts, our authenticity. And we're walking on this path, but things can come in and just push us off our path. And this is something I want to talk to this as well. This is something where I see a lot of, I just need to let the cat in the window, hold on. I let him out the window. And now he's meowing to come back in. Come on then. Come in then. Don't mess about. Come on then. Come. Thank you. Okay. Sorry about that. So Ziggy's in the window. He's happy. Yeah, so a lot of the time these things happen. We get pushed off our path. And how often do we hear, oh, well, that was obviously meant to be. Oh, that was meant to be. Maybe that was meant to happen. It's like, no, that's not it. It's interference on our path. So that's why energy clearing is really important. And this used to be me a few years ago. I used to be like, oh, well, maybe this was meant to happen. Maybe my car was meant to break down. And it was like, no, that was an energy attack, okay? And I hear this so much, like, oh, just surrender, it's meant to happen. Sometimes it is. Sometimes it's just energy that we need to clear, okay? So body truth and energy clearing. Yes, Ziggy, you do agree, I know. And the other thing I was asked to talk about, which ties into all of this, is manifestation. So for a lot of us, we can have that, we know where we're headed, or we might know a concept of how that feels. We've had a glimmer of certain parts of those energy that we want to head towards. We might, you know, it might be we want to live somewhere, or we want to work with a certain type of client, or whatever that thing might be for us. But we don't know what steps we need to take to get towards it. And I'm gonna say this, the way that things like, no offense to the creators of The Secret, the problem with things like The Secret is they only focus on the law of attraction. And as we know, there are 12 universal laws. Okay, I'm just going to read your comments. Jill, you were told to go solo on flying lessons. It felt so good. It was late in the day and everyone was returning, so you kept waiting ages and they were worried that you might get nervous and go back, but it never entered your head not to go. Oh, amazing. I bet that felt so... Oh, I remember you saying the other day how amazing it felt being in that plane on your own. Yeah, I love that. Yes, big hell yes. Joe, I think when we surrender to an outcome and it continues to feel bad, that is a secondary sign. Yes, Joe, yes, thank you. That's it, isn't it? It's like, okay, I surrendered to this. Oh, actually, no, this feels bad. Okay, maybe there's some energy here that needs clearing. So when we're focused on that big dream and goal, and this is where I need to remember to drink my tea before it gets cold. This is where things like The Secret are actually flawed, because they only focus on the law of attraction. And, you know, do the vision board, have the vision, think about it, and it will manifest. And actually, there are a whole host of other laws at play. And actually, the most important part of manifestation is the vibration and the feelings. And I feel that bit is kind of covered, but I don't know about you. Hi Jan, thanks for watching. I don't know about you, but when I first like read The Secret, it was like, okay, I'll make a vision board and then, you know, it'll happen. That's how I'm going to manifest it, okay? But there's not enough teachings out there about the vibrational elements of it. So this is how this whole piece comes together with feeling unstuck and the manifesting part, because if we understand the vibrational shift and the vibrational feel of that future vision, because it has already happened. So again, back to what we were talking about at the start, in that time and space are not linear. So there is a version of you where that vision has already happened, okay? So the way to get into that version of you and be back on that golden path, or you might want to take an extra sparkly golden path that goes off through the forest. But that version of you, to connect to that version of you and to become a vibrational match, because everything in the quantum is atoms bond to similar atoms, cats and similar cats who meow, because atoms bond to atoms, we have to become a vibrational match for that thing to step onto that timeline, okay? So as soon as we feel vibrationally the same and our frequency is the same as that version, we can move on to that path. So when we, yeah, you're right, Jill, there is a lot of misunderstanding around this. So when we can say, what do I look like? What do I feel like? What actions am I taking? Where am I? Where am I being? Okay, and we step into this, it brings us back to getting unstuck again. Because if we connect with that timeline that has, yeah, too much time wasted in the trying, it's a good point, Jill. If we connect with that timeline and we go, okay, that version has already happened, what is that version doing? What are they feeling? What are they doing? What is their vibration? And I know that sounds like a bit of a, not a very conceptual concept, but when you start to break this down, and you can even do this in meditation, connect with your higher self, like literally go and sit down next to your higher self in a meditation and ask them questions, ask for guidance and see what comes through, okay? We don't actually need anything else other than source and our higher selves. We don't need to connect with anything else because all the answers are there, because it's already happened. You've already done it. So you're more wise than any other guide or any other energy because you've already done it. That future version of you has already done it, okay? So that's where the wisdom comes in. So what we can then do is we can take that big dream and vision and goal and we can go, how am I being, feeling, what am I doing in that vision? and bring that into getting unstuck in our next steps, okay? So I have got a beautiful, beautiful local town down the road that is just vibrationally just, oh, it's just so good. And there's lovely coffee shops and vintage shops and a market and delis, and the vibration of that town when I go there, and I sometimes go there to work, it's like, oh yes, that is the vibration. So I will take myself there because I know the future version of me lives somewhere that is that vibration. Like that feels good to me, that feels nourishing to me. So that's how we can get unstuck. So when I'm feeling stuck, I'll go there and I'll go work there, and usually I will have an aha moment, or my work is different, or I create, you can see some videos that I've created on a beach, and I say secret beach location, like this is there where I do that, okay? So we can literally, that's how we get ourselves unstuck, by putting ourselves into that vibration. So hopefully that makes sense. But the energy clearing is what works with this, because as much as we take action, as much as we step into that vibrationally, we're not there vibrationally if we've got attachments, if we've got entities, and if we've got energies that need clearing. So a lot of the clearing that I've been doing over the last few weeks is not just like things that, you know, things that clients have picked up from their clients even, but, you know, past lives, Akashic records, karmic debt, all of those things. Like, we do not have to be functioning from karma. Like, we can just clear that. I can clear that with you in one session. Like, we do not have to function off of that. So it's this combination of body truth, getting us on our path, and then clearing anything. So I saw this with my client today, as like the roots of the tree were like growing up the path as we were clearing off and creating these boundaries that were moving her towards that timeline that is her big dream and big goal and big vision. So that is it from me today. So just to summarize the main key points of what I wanted to talk about, and thanks everyone who has shared your thoughts on this in comments. I really appreciate you being here and watching me live. And I very appreciate Ziggy for being such a wonderful meowing assistant today. So we want to be, number one, body truth. Our bodies know the answer. We know what to do to get unstuck. Okay, this is also why I love coaching. I've recently just, everyone thinks I'm crazy, I've recently just gone for the next round of my coaching qualification because I love coaching and I love energy clearing. I love to do those two together. So we need to tune in with our body truth. Like, we all have our own individual truth. We need to clear our energy around that. Like, it's not meant for us. Like, it's just something pushing us off our path. So if you do want to book in, I have just 10 spots left for my birthday sale for Quantum Alchemy sessions, where we can clear everything off you that Source brings us up to clear off in that session. And we want to focus in on that big dream and then bring that back vibrationally to those small steps, okay? And that is how we get unstuck. So energy clearing, body truth, focusing in vibrationally on that big dream. I love how you're thanking everyone as well. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Yeah, really appreciate you all. Thanks for being here. And if you have any questions about any of this stuff or anything else you want me to cover, then just let me know. Sending you all lots of love.